Well, there you go. Dan and Turkish on Box to Box yesterday on AFTV. Let's go with the home team first. You were after a draw. You were saying that's the best result. I also heard you say you've hated Moyes going into these games. A best result for you is a draw, is it?
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying. Like, the biggest problem a lot of West Hams have had is him playing for a draw. Rather than having ambition and going for it. We saw Ghent the other night. We played for a draw, we got a draw, when really we need to be winning these knockout competitions, because now we bring it back to our ground. Yeah, okay, you'd say we're favourites at home, but it's now a knockout game. No second chances. Yeah. But this game, where we're going into it, look, if we don't get anything, that's not one of the games we earmarked as winnable 3-pointer, right? So if we can get 1 point out of this, it's huge in the running that we have. And the pressure is massively on Arsenal. Can't afford to drop a single point. And we could potentially use that to our advantage. Frustrate them. Finally use some of the dark arts, right? Because I've seen so many other teams, right? Time waste, cheating, diving, cheating. All of these things. Yeah, I see it. We don't do these things. This is the time to do it. Arsenal do it. Let's do it.
Okay. Well, you also said in there that you're looking forward and maybe asking for a new manager at some point. But you mentioned the shithousery, if you want to call it that as well.
Yeah.
If West Ham do come away with this one, and we'll ask Ty the same question after. Is that mentally a massive block there for Arsenal to because they would be kind of conceding the momentum to City if that did happen. So can West Ham ruin the party, basically?
I think we can, because our game in hand is at the Etihad.
Wow.
So we could have a massive part to play, in this title race.
Wow.
So it's huge, and our away form is terrible. So the part we have to play would probably be costing that's Arsenal. That's the because our home form is where we're stronger. So us getting a point, for us huge, for them disaster, absolute disaster. Because this on paper is one of the most winnable games they've got in their running.
It is.
I'd say.
It is.
Like, they have to get 3 points, and a point, especially after the way they came away from Anfield, not winning that game.
Yeah, we didn't lose though.
And then you didn't lose.
Exactly. We got battered and we didn't lose. So no mind. Listen. Oh, sorry. So you can't.
No. Go on. Yeah.
Well, listen.
You got battered for half of it. You didn't get battered the whole game.
It doesn't matter. The score was 2-2.
Goal in the Premier League. We've seen an equaliser for Everton.
Who's the goal scorer?
Scored. At home to Fulham. Let's get a confirmation on the goal scorer.
Do you know what?
Alex.
Everton need to pull themselves out of this, because if they shoot themselves in the foot at their home games, they're gonna
they're going to be in real trouble, aren't they?
They've got potentially the hardest running of any relegation battling team.
I can't imagine them going down, lad.
I'd love
Yeah,
to.
neither
I
can.
can't. I would
in their new stadium.
Dwight McNeil.
Yes. Dwight McNeil, former Burnley.
I'm a Scouser, lad. I'm a Scouser through and through. I love Liverpool very much, and I don't like Everton. They're not my mates or nothing.
They hate Liverpool.
They might hate
fans,
us, but I
so.
don't care. It's like one of your little brother that's a little bit annoyed with you. You don't really care, like, because he's still your little brother. So I don't want them to get knocked down into the Champions League, into the Championship. I don't want that. I know he does. I don't. I like to see Scousers thriving regardless of what team they support.
I do.
As long as they're not thriving more than us, that's all that matters.
You should have heard some of the chants they were singing, mate. Trust me.
Which obviously nobody can condone. Nobody can
get them down, I say. Anyway, it's 1-0 at Goodison Park. Let's go back on to West Ham versus Arsenal. We'll come across the tie now.
Yeah.
Games like these, West Ham away, we heard Dan saying these are games that Arsenal should be winning. Are you worried at all about the pressure on this game, considering...
Pressure? What pressure?
Well, considering you didn't win the last...
This is scary, bro. You got to admit, it's scary.
It's scary for us.
Oh, okay.
Look at this.
Every game now, not just this one, but especially this one, on the back of a game where you haven't picked up 3 points, where you normally do this season. If things don't go well tomorrow, at which point do you start getting worried? Because let's not forget, City played tonight at 5:30. If they win, the pressure's back on you tomorrow to go away at West Ham, which still is a difficult place to go. Let's have it right. If you don't get the result you need tomorrow, what happens then? Oh, Jesus.
Well, who knows? Who knows? But listen, we're not worried. Pressure? What pressure? Everybody say we're under pressure. We don't seem to play like a team that's under pressure.
I mean, I will.
Seven wins in.
Pressure, though.
No, we would say that, because pressure. What pressure? Pressure's at the bottom. So, you know, nothing is phasing us. We got battered, fair enough. We got battered in the second half, Anfield, but we still came away with a draw. Now, listen, I like what he's doing. He's all mind games. All the pressure's on us. The pressure ain't on us. The pressure's on West Ham, because West Ham are in a worse position than us. Now, we're going to West Ham. We know it's going to be a difficult game. But we're not worried. We know if we can play well, put away our chances, then we'll win the game. But it's interesting what he said. He said that West Ham are hoping for a point, which is interesting. Now, if that's the case, then that plays into our hands, because I would have thought West Ham are going to try and win. But if they're going to show us that respect of going for a point, then that will suit us, because of the fact that every week at Emirates we face what he was saying about the lobby. Everybody, apart from Manchester United, Liverpool, to be fair, Liverpool came.
Everton beat you with that low block.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did, but they were very, very lucky. But
also,
come on.
Everton weren't lucky. Everton were lucky. It came from a set piece, didn't it?
What about you? Set pieces aren't lucky. Set pieces are part of the game.
No, he was very lucky. But the thing is, if that's the way West Ham are going to play, that's fine. But pressure, what pressure?
Do you not think if we came at you, if we actually came at you, that's where we're playing into your hands. That's where you could pick us apart, because we're leaving ourselves exposed.
Yeah, but you're making a game of it. But if you are saying then break us down, then hopefully we will, because we're used to facing that every week at Emirates. Like I said, apart from Manchester United,
Newcastle,
did it as well. Newcastle.
There was a draw, wasn't it?
Liverpool, Manchester United. Yeah, no, but they shouldn't have as well. But fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. They got it. But the thing is, I'm looking at Liverpool, Manchester United. They're the only ones that came to play. Everyone else hasn't come to play. So if West Ham are going to play that, that's fine, because we're used to that every week. But at the same time, we know it's a difficult game. No one has to tell us. But we're not worried, because we're where we are on merit.
Yeah, of course.
And if we carry on winning, hopefully we will. We'll do it,
but there's no room for error.
There is no room for error. And the question that I asked you, Ty,
there's no room for error for Man City as well.
Oh, absolutely.
So, you know,
no, and that's what it is when you're at the top. You've seen with Liverpool, we make one tiny error and they take the league. But
unfortunately,
in answer to my question, if you don't win, hypothetically speaking, if you don't win tomorrow, at what point do you start getting a bit nervous, I don't get nervous. Looking over your shoulder.
Listen, we'll only be nervous
because the Sharks are circling.
Yeah, well, the Sharks are circling for Man City as well. They're still behind us.
They are the Sharks.
the Sharks have been circling all season, but we're still got ahead.
They're the hunters and you're the hunted.
Yeah, well, that's fine. Listen, we'll take that. What it is that the only time we get worried is if we can't get a result at the Etihad. That's when we get worried. But at the same time, we could go into this game. Obviously, ideally, still 6 points if Leicester can win at Etihad. I know that's a big if, you know. Yeah, but listen, we're not worried. Like I said, I've seen Aaron Ramsdale talking and saying pressure. What pressure? I've been relegated 3 times. And when you hear that, exactly, and you hear that, and you see his performance, because we saw that save from Salah.
Wow.
I was lucky enough to be at the game. I thought he was in.
World class.
But the save from Konate, obviously, Konate. Absolutely.
Where I was sitting.
Absolutely.
I was celebrating.
Konate, the save from Konate, well, obviously Konate should have scored for him. To do that, when you see that, like I said, Doyle would like this one. He was like Mr. Probs, wave after wave. We got absolutely battered. We got absolutely battered, but we
slowly.
Absolutely, very good voice. You know, but we
Sharks are in them waves.
Yeah, but we're not worried about the Sharks, because we're ready for the Sharks.
You're killer whales, right?
No, we're not saying that. What we're saying is this season is unlike any other, because we didn't challenge since 2015. Leicester only done it one season. It was their time. So we're hoping it's our time, but we're not talking even about winning. We're just talking about winning games. Now we know it's going to be a difficult game against West Ham, but we're confident. We're ready. We can't wait. We're like new shoes. We can't wait.
I refuse to believe you don't have any nerves.
Of course not. What nerves about what? Look at where we are.
About not winning the league. Danny Welbeck has scored against
Chelsea.
Semmy in the mark.
Sorry, Semmy, lads.
I said Danny, didn't I?
He must have come on, because he didn't start again.
You know what? Just before we move on from that,
Evan Ferguson Ferguson came off Welbeck on 2 minutes later. He scores a goal.
Wow.
I hope Evans
wow.
right.
There when we talk about backup strikers. Wow.
Yeah, there exactly.
Welbeck is add him into the chat.
So just to add to these points as well, when we're going into these last parts of the season, when City and Arsenal are playing these teams at the bottom, it's now becoming a battle of wills. What is greater, lad? The battle, the will to survive. It's the will to survive or the will to win, lad. It's all about that. That's what the battle of them wills is what's going to get through it, lad. And I usually think, in my opinion, the battle to survive is usually greater than the battle to win. The will to win, it just is usually, because you've got to throw everything into it, and you don't sort of flap in that type of moment where you go 1-0 down because you've got nothing to lose.
Yes.
Whereas Arsenal have everything to lose, absolutely everything, and so do they. But that's why it's even bigger of a risk for them to lose, because they cannot lose. Yeah. But you can, because you won't. You might not win, but you're not going down.
I don't think we can afford to lose. But the thing is, that's fair enough. But the thing is, what I would say with West Ham are lucky, I think, in the fact that they beat Fulham. So to me, the pressures of them, they lost to Fulham. They really need something. So even if they don't get something tomorrow, which hopefully on our side they don't, they beat Fulham, and that Fulham game was big. You know, but like I said, we're loving this. People, I couldn't even get my words out. People are
calm down, Ty.
Have you not considered this is your best chance of winning the league? Like this season, next season, it's going to be a different ball game.
We're not considering anything. All we're looking at is winning games. That's all we're talking about. That's why the pressure ain't getting to us. Because if the pressure got to us, we should have folded at Anfield like a card player, but we didn't.
I would say.
So if you can do that and you have a goalkeeper to pull out those saves, and Liverpool deserve to in the second half. We've no William Saliba. We don't know when he's coming back. We hope he's back soon. You know, you can do that. You know, listen. We are not. Listen, we're not worried. We're not underestimating. Sorry, we're not underestimating Man City, but we're not underestimating ourselves. We are there on merit, and we have to hopefully counter. We're not worried. Listen, anybody we have to play, we're ready to face them.
Okay.
I wish we were playing tonight.
No, you'll have to
and that's what Ty's got to say.
Quick one from Dan. 2 players you're worried about tomorrow on the Arsenal team, and we'll come to you.
It's got to be Saka and Jesus. Jesus is back, annoyingly, obviously, in time to play us. Saka obviously speaks for himself, and he's going to be going against either Creswell or Emerson. We don't have defensively sound left backs as good as Emerson's been, so that's the two that right there and there.
Martinelli as well, he's got to be one that you've got to be
worried about. Had a great first half an hour at Anfield last week. Ty, 2 players that you're worried about on the West Ham team?
We're not worried about anyone, to be honest. but when I say that, apprehension. He's never worried me. It's apprehension. Apprehension is probably Antonio. I don't know if he's going to play. I don't know if he's going to start.
Yeah, he probably will.
And also Jared Bowen, where I can say I want to give him a shout out, because I remember last season he got caught. I don't know who it was by, and he stayed on his feet when he could have got down and sent him.
It was that reckless Ramsdale flying out like a clown.
From Aaron. So you know, no, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. But like I said, we respect West Ham. No, we know it's going to be a difficult game. But like I said, we don't underestimate ourselves.
Just before we get into your predictions for that game tomorrow, a couple of super chats for Ahmad. Arsenal haven't been at the top for so long. It seems Ty is suffering from delirium due to the altitude. Someone get that man some oxygen. He completely forgot about the Man City game. It is a super chat.
He's a passionate man, I didn't. That's what he supports his club. He loves his club.
But I didn't. Tell me who your team is if you're brave enough. And I didn't. I said that we would start worrying if we don't beat Manchester City. We'd start worrying if we don't get results.
Did say that.
No, but like I said, I'll say it again. What are we worried about? We're at the top. I don't understand.
Worried about not winning it from the position.
Are you not worried about failure?
No, we're not. But that's why we're where we are.
You have something to lose, Ty.
We have won nothing yet, so there's nothing to lose.
It's in your hands.
No, listen, we don't have anything. So that's why we're not winning. Because that's what a lot of people want us to. We're not rattled by Manchester City. They're talking about us. Akanji, Guardiola, Haaland, all talking. You don't hear none of our players talking. You don't hear Mikel talking about Manchester. Manchester City are the ones that are rattled. We're not rattled.
You don't sound it at all.
Can I just say?
I'm not.
Dominic T, just quickly, Dominic T super chat, £10. Thank you very much, Dominic. It's going straight into Ty's pizza fund for after
Please
the
read
show.
this, just that quick.
Arsenal last won a Premier League in the PS2 era, says GP.
Yeah, that's right. 2003 times one.
But
that's
going back to Dominic, Find it funny when people talk about us losing out on the top 4 last season and don't mention how injury-ridden we were with Tommy, Partey, Tierney all out, and Ben White, Gabriel and Saka playing whilst injured.
True. And now Saliba's out as well for your last run of games, which is not a good thing.
Coming back.
But Jamon says, preach, Ty, preach.
Absolutely. So the person that said delirium, no, tell me if I'm delirious. Are we not top of the table?
You are.
Correct.
Have Man City not lost 4 games? We lost 3.
Correct.
Yep.
So what's the? Did we not get battered at Anfield and still get a point?
Correct.
So where's the delirium then?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to tell me.
He says Ty isn't deluded. He's just confident in his team.
I was gonna say that I kind of get where you're coming from, because when you look at how Arsenal played this season, like
it's been unbelievable.
Every single all the teams that they've played, not only have they won, but they've won convincingly, and one being on top, being the better team by far. So I get where the confidence comes from. Genuinely, I get it.
Yeah. But how can you not? When you're
at the same time,
nerves.
But at the same time, I feel like maybe the nerves
apprehension, but no nerves.
Maybe it's because they haven't been there. Maybe they're just happy to be here.
Well, listen,
that could be part of it.
Leicester did it in their season.
Because if you've been there before, like recently, you'd have nerves because you know that this is crunch time. But if you haven't like been there, with all due respect, if you haven't been there for a while, you might just be happy to be there.
Arsenal were doing the Leicester this season. They're the Leicester of 2023.
Hopefully.
I will add this.
Yeah.
The first time I've seen nerves from them players was at Anfield in that second half. It was the first time I've seen Arsenal think,
the first time I've seen them second best.
Could lose this and this could have been big impacts. However, to your point, you didn't lose, lad. And Ramsdale, in the moment that you needed them, was right there, lad. And that is what champions do as well. So it's difficult. It's very difficult, but I would say going into these games now, as a Liverpool fan, when we were going into the last 10, I was terrified of every single game.
Oh no, I can't.
Because there's so much on the line, Ty.
I really wanted that league, lad. I really wanted it. And if we drop points, lad, it wounded me heart and soul, lad. So to hear you so confident in your team, I think we'll get people's backs up. But love it, Ty, lad. That's what you're there to do, lad. You're there to back your team, bro. And why not?
Are you the same way in cup finals, Ty? Like when you're watching a cup final, you don't feel sick, you don't feel nervous, you don't feel...
Because what it is that, listen, the players are different. But as fans, you have to enjoy. If you can't enjoy, what's the point? I'm sorry. I'll give you an example of when a few seasons ago we beat Newcastle 1-0 to get top 3, and Lauren Koscielny scored a fantastic volley. I won't mention his name, but one of our gooners, he's got a nickname which I won't name. He was so scared, he spent the last 10 minutes in the toilet. What's the point? What's the point coming all that way if you can't watch it? And what I would say, if the players can face it, we as fans are not playing shit.
Okay. Couple more comments, guys, just before we get into half-time, because it is half-time in every single game now, apart from that Tottenham game, which kicked off late. Athletic Bilbao have just scored at home to Real Sociedad, Iñaki Williams with the goal. At half-time, it's Sunderland 1, Birmingham 1 as well in the Championship. Everton 1-0 against Fulham. Chelsea 1, Brighton 1. From what we've seen, it looks like Brighton have been the better team in that one. Southampton 0, Crystal Palace 0.
Been the better team as well, higher on the XG.
Yeah, Wolves 1, Brentford 1 as well. Tottenham still 1-0 up thanks to Son. A couple comments before we get into the predictions for this game. Rich Torrens saying the fact that Arsenal's team is so young, the fearlessness overrides the pressure.
Absolutely.
None of the young players are scared of any team.
Yeah.
They're not.
Was one more as well. The excuse was last season was that they were young. That's why they buckled it.
Another super chat from
where
Tina.
we know though.
So if United lost out on top 4, can we United fans blame it on the injuries, Ty? Injury to Rashford, Shaw,
of course you can,
and Martinez.
Of course you can. If your best men are out, you're not going to do anything. Or best women, if you're talking about women's football. If your best
players,
look what's happened to Liverpool. Now, I don't think Liverpool would be in this position if they didn't have so many injuries to key players at key moments. So, of course.
I'm not sure. Who, yeah.
Sorry? Yeah,
Van Dijk has been injured?
No, this season.
This season, Van Dijk has been injured.
Diaz,
Van Dijk has been injured.
You think Diaz has been...
I think it's just...
You think that's the difference between you being where you are and being in the top 4?
No, it's not just that.
It's the midfield.
It's the midfield injuries that we've had all season long. If it's not Hendo, Thiago's out. If he's not out, Keita gets injured, or someone who has been starting games, Harvey Elliott as well.
I don't agree, because even if Hendo, even if your midfield has been fully fit, I feel like they've kind of come to the end of their cycle anyway. It needs a revamp anyway.
But we know that. Injuries never help when you're trying to build.
Everyone's got. Listen, we've had Skamaka, Paqueta, Boyd out as well.
And you're getting a relegation battle, lads.
Yeah, but I don't blame the injuries. Injuries are a part of it.
If the players were fit, would you be there?
don't think they would.
No, is the answer.
No, but the thing
West
is,
Ham should not be that far
but
down.
everyone gets injuries.
Yeah, everyone
you
gets
have to expect injuries.
It's true. And also, when you do have the players, it doesn't matter if you've all got, like Chelsea, for example, they've got all the players that they could possibly want and they're still not doing well. It's not just that. But you can.
That's true.
I do think that injuries play a part.
Can
The season when in lockdown, when Liverpool had all the centre-backs injured, that affected us massively. It really did.
And to be fair, at one point, we had a whole 11 out as well at the start of the year. At the start of the year. But
and then you bought a whole new one.
Yeah. But like I said, injuries, like for me,
injuries
yeah, it just happens.
Injuries have a part, because it's no secret that we're top of the table. Thomas Partey has not been injured this season at all.
Oh yeah, no. When he was off,
exactly,
you missed him
massively.
so much.
So you've been lucky, really.
But that's why.
Yeah, of course we have.
Why.
We're lucky to be at the top, of course.
Not having Saliba's bit scary.
Yeah, no, I think every successful team gets.
We're lucky.
You got to be able to adapt.
Run with injuries.
You know what I mean? Like when you get an injury.
Well, it's about depth, isn't it, lad? It's about depth. That's why
well.
City are able to compete on all four fronts every single season, is because if they take someone off or somebody's injured, they can replace them with the same, like for substitutes, and it's just there for them. So.
They can.
Big up to Ahmad, just having fun with some banter. Ty, you're just too easy to get worked up. I'm a Man United fan, by the way, but in the end, it's just football and it's not personal.
Okay, no, not really, because the panel proved me right. I'm not delirium, because I mentioned three things that are true. I can even mention, did we win in League at Old Trafford? Yes, so it's not delirium. If you want me to say that.
Well, that's going back into
It's true though.
GP says, what's Ty's super chat? What's Ty's favourite PS2 game? What is your favourite PS2 game?
Gosh, I don't even know, because I didn't have a PS2.
Oh really? Fair play.
But it'd probably be any of the. It'd probably be Pro Evolution Soccer Manager.
Okay, ZFB with a super chat. Listen to these desperate, deluded fools, AGT, Doyle and West Ham fan. You think Arsenal will just disappear next year? I don't think any of us said that.
That's not nice. That's a bit.
One of us said that.
Don't be dumb, he says.
Don't
be dumb yourself, because we didn't even say that.
Come on, let's be respectful. Let's be respectful.
Sorry, bud.
Last season, Arsenal had a 17-man squad plus injuries, says Rich. 17-man squad plus injuries, saying Rich Torrance. Obviously a light squad. Before we end this one, predictions. How does this one finish tomorrow? London Stadium, West Ham versus Arsenal. Dan.
I've said, heart says 1-1. You know, if I was to bet money, I'd say 3-0 to them, and that hurts. That absolutely hurts me to say, but
wow, I hope he's right.
Let's take that. Let's throw that away. Let's stick with the 1-1, man.
Okay,
we're gonna do it. We're gonna do this.
Right,
as Robbie said.
My heart says 3. My heart says 3. My heart says 3-0, but my head says 2-0. Hopefully to us.
So just a goal less.
Yeah, absolutely.
So an Arsenal win. There you go. And that's been a goal.